Hello everyone, thanks for joining me on day one of NAB New York 2025. I'm still Michael Kamas with Key Code Media. And today, we're joined by John Murphy of New York Life.
Oh, it's John Morgan, but you can call me John Murphy.
Did I say Murphy?
That's all right.
I'm sorry, John Morgan.
I know John Murphy, and he's just as nice as I am, so don't worry about it.
Does he know as much about AI as you do?
Probably yes.
Okay, my apologies. I've been excited about this for the last couple of days. You know, before we do streams like this, I like to get some background as to what's going on, and some of the things you're doing just blows me away. So, let's jump right into it.
Absolutely.
So, Mr. Morgan.
Yes, you got it.
Mr. Work okay? So, you're working for New York Life,
That's
and
right.
you've incorporated AI pretty heavily into a lot of your workflows. Can you maybe discuss the kind of content you're working with, first and foremost?
Yeah, when you talked about Gen AI content that we're using within our video workflows, we're using them primarily for corporate communication videos.
Okay.
So these are things that are internal, they don't go external to the company, so they may be things that are shown on our internet or intranet, or they may be shown at one of our mass meetings that we have with our sales force. So they could be seen by 3 people, or they could be seen by 3,000, 5,000 people out in our company.
So the typical process, let's go back in time 5 years.
Yeah.
Your typical process of getting content in, organizing it, sorting it, chopping it, delivering it, was pretty par for the course.
Yeah,
right?
It was standard operation procedures. You know, you record something, then you ingest it into your systems, and then somebody comes through and tries to edit it. Simple as that.
So right now, over the past few years, you've deployed, or with Keycode's help, you've deployed Mimir.
Yes, absolutely,
right?
yep.
Okay, and Mimir is fantastic because it's fairly extensible, right? You can plug in a lot of third parties to it.
Yep.
And that goes hand in hand with some of the AI things and the initiatives that you're doing. So can you kind of talk about what kind of AI tools or processes you're working with Mimir?
Yeah, within Mimir, when we ingest content, we immediately, especially if it's an interview content, not a B-roll type footage, we immediately put it through transcoding process, translation processes, and transcribing processes. So if it's another language, we'll translate it, or we'll transcribe everything that goes through. And then we run it through our image recognition AI stuff, so it's either image recognition or object recognition, and then we'll do facial recognition, and that helps us out later on down the pipeline when we're searching for content, or we have to ingest other content based on those particular people we're ingesting. It allows it to go through a lot quicker.
So when this content comes in, the older process was to have someone manually entering in tags, right?
Yeah,
Which
absolutely.
is kind of par for the course.
Yeah.
And you talked about the fact that you're using object recognition, facial recognition. How has that changed headcount? How has that changed the amount of folks that you're working with on your team?
It hasn't at all. We have the same amount. In fact, we increased our team.
So AI hasn't taken any jobs?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
AI is a tool. Mm-hmm. It's a tool to be used by people who have those jobs, not to take over other people's jobs, and that's the way we use it.
Outstanding. So we've talked about using some of the analytical tools, right? Speech to text, image object recognition, but you also mentioned at the onset that you're also using AI for B-roll.
Yeah.
Can you kind of talk how that process works?
Sure. We started looking at AI a couple years ago when everybody else did, and we started getting the models come out for, ChatGPT and all that. And the first thing was like, well, how do we integrate this into our video workflows, or how can we create using these tools in order to help us out? And we started looking at, the back end stuff as far as organizing, stories and stuff like that, or writing scripts, just like everybody else did, or doing transcribes or what have you. But then we started, as the tools started getting better, we started trying to figure out how we can use the video tools or imagery tools in order to make it better. So, just like everybody else, there was a breakthrough about 6 months ago when it came out, when we started doing text on top of video, and it came out right, and then it started going, okay, it's starting to look like a realistic prospect here. Mm-hmm. So let me just keep testing tools, and so anything that filtered to the top of the food chain, I tested. And I tested a lot of programs in the past 2 years. Let's put it that way. Way too many, and some of them I can't even remember the names of them anymore. But essentially, we landed on a few, and we developed our workflow on how to create B-roll footage for our projects. And the reason we needed this footage was for various reasons. It could have been stuff that we weren't able to capture at the time, or it could be stuff that is not capturable at all. So we looked at that stuff. If you're going out in the field and capturing stuff, and you got it but a lot of times people need to be rescued in an edit, right? You ever hear that? I just need to cover up this piece, or I need to get this one piece of content. And that's where we come in like a savior, right?
Right.
So we put this directly into our, we put the content creator right into our process of also the media management team. So the media management team are the people who also create the content. So whenever you ask us for content, we'll go off and either create it for you or we'll search for it for you. So one of the two. Right now we're doing a little bit of both. So soon we hope to do a lot more creation. So how does it work? Well, it's really interesting because what we did was we kind of perfected our workflow, and I'm sure other people are doing the same thing. But what we do is we first create an image, because there was a lot of ways of being able to ask a model, for a video model, to say, give me some video. And none of them actually work very well, right? So all of this prompting and stuff that you put into there has been migrating itself from text prompting into image prompting, and sooner or later it'll be easy prompting, hopefully. If not, it's going to be trouble. But so what we figured out is we can do a lot of image prompting better to get video. So what we do is we create the video, we create an image of what we want first in either ChatGPT or Google's Nano Banana.
Okay.
And that allows us to fine tune, because they're iterative. So I can actually say, create this image. Maybe it's a hallway in the office where people are walking through the hallway. So I can say, create this image. And if I don't like the people in the hallway, or I want more people, I can say, add more people, or remove more people, or change something in this image. And because those two programs do that iterative process, allows us to get exactly what we want, right? And then at that point, then we take it into either Mid-Journey, or we take it into Google's VEO3, and then we animate it. And it's that simple. We say, do an animation of this person doing this, or do an animation of this person doing that. And now we have exactly what we want, and we have it animated. And there I have your B-roll footage. And what's the next step? We're hoping that we could just change video that we record, right? So we're waiting for the next step, and I'm thinking about, at this pace, 2 weeks. That we'll see the next step where I can actually put in video that I want to change something in my video, and then actually have that result in an end video instead of just taking images and creating video out of that.
Are there any on-prem solutions, or are the names you've mentioned thus far have all been cloud-based?
Yes.
Is there any processing that's being done on-prem?
No, not yet. We are going to start looking into doing that coming up shortly. Okay. See how we can tailor it more to get more fine-tuned exactly what we need. We can't get exactly everything we need. There are certain hurdles we have to overcome. So when we start looking at the Curly UI people that are doing the node-based stuff and stuff like that, we'll start looking at that. But when you got to be careful with this stuff, because you don't know what you're grabbing from the internet. If you get it from one of these unreputable providers of content, you're going to find yourself some trouble. And when we work in the financial industry, we have to be careful of what we bring on board. So. And
what tools are you editing in? Are you primarily Adobe, Avid?
We are Adobe. We moved from Avid to Adobe it was over 10 years ago. So just when the big Final Cut 7.
The Final Cut 7 fog, the post-Final Cut 7 fog, right?
That's right. Everybody had to make a switch somewhere.
So is your team also using the AI tools inside Premiere, like Generative Extend and Media Intelligence, or?
Yeah, a little bit. We've used the Extend for a little bit of audio playback and stuff like that, but not too much, and a little bit of video looping if we've had to. But not as much, because we found that those tools are just, the value is not worth it there sometimes, or we just don't need it. We don't need that thing. With the advent of 11 Labs come along now, we're finding with 11 Labs, we can do wonderful things with audio, so we don't have to rely so much on the Premiere work suite. Or the Adobe work suite. We're hoping they kind of catch up with what's going on outside, because I don't think they're really there yet. Because people like 11 Labs and these other people who are being able to create video inside their applications are a little further ahead than what Adobe's doing. So with 11 Labs, we've been creating not only voiceovers, but we've taken this thing where, because you do an AI voiceover and somebody reads off something, a text to voice, and it sounds a bit like AI.
Right.
Well, they have the great one where you could do the overdubbing. And we just love it, because people come in there and they want to have an inflection here on this word, or they want to, downplay something in this sentence. So we'll just say it the exactly way you want it, record exactly where you want it. We're just going to put somebody else's voice on top of it.
And is this a custom voice that you've trained, or is it usually
No, we're just using a couple of ones that are built in, and we give them 5 or 6 different selections and say, choose one of these lovely voices doing your voiceover, and they love it.
And there's sign-off, obviously. They're obviously saying, yes, I approve this. Yes, this is okay to use.
Yeah, because it's 11 labs and it's all locked down as far as that's concerned. Those are bought and paid for voices. So there you go.
Something else I wanted to bring up is that, and we kind of tickled this a little bit earlier, is that you said there hasn't been a reduction in headcount.
No, absolutely not.
But you said there's been a reduction in time spent on projects.
Yes. Yeah.
So you're able to do more projects in the same amount of time.
Essentially, or we were able to get them done quicker, or we were able to spend more time on the storytelling than on searching for media or looking for content or creating videos that we don't need.
Was that a time-consuming thing? Before you did your using Gen AI for B-roll, how often, how much time would you spend trying to search content? A lot. Okay.
If you're a producer, they want specific imagery, right? And we do buy imagery from other places, and when you go up to the site, you have to search through a lot of imagery to find exactly what you're looking for. Or even music you got to search for. It takes a lot of time. And we've averaged, sometimes it could take you could be very lucky and get exactly what you want in 2 minutes, or it could take you 2 days, 3 days to find exactly what you're looking for. And not only that, but who's looking for it?
Right.
Is it the editor looking for it? Is the producer looking for it? And how much of their time is taken up and could be used doing better things on that project? So when we look at stuff like that, we say, okay, how much time did it really reduce us? So we did a couple test cases. We did one with Nana Banana, and we did a test case using video and stuff like that in our video B-roll workflow. And we found with creating our own imagery and creating our own videos that we've reduced the time a lot. I can create an image I want and fine-tune it anywhere between 1 and 5 minutes. I can animate it in another minute and a half, okay? So now I've got 10 minutes and I've got your clip that you want. If that's not what you want, I can go and fix it and get what you want. So now that we just talked about anywhere from 1 minute to 2 or 3 days, and now I've reduced the amount of time immensely it takes to find content for our productions.
I could talk to you about this for hours. I think I have one more question for you, and that a lot of the tools you talked about have been storytelling or wrangling of assets or identifying assets, discovering assets, creating new assets. What about tools that help with audio mixing or color grading or things like that? Have you dipped your toe in that pool yet?
No, because we're corporate video, so we don't get really too much into the color grading, as long as it all matches, and we do that on camera. So, we do a little bit of that, and we don't have to get too far into the weeds on that type of stuff. Or even, unfortunately, audio sweetening is also taking a step back in the industry as far as, those video productions are concerned. There's not a huge audio amount of sweetening going on as there used to be. So we don't have to spend a lot of time doing that. Now, as far as audio creation is concerned, we have used 11 Labs, again, who's now added in a new audio creation section, which is fantastic. And we have used that very successfully by getting an exact piece that a guy wanted in the first try. And because what they allow you to do is you can tell it, I want you to raise the intensity of the music at this point, at 3 minutes. Or at 350, I want you to lower the intensity of the music or add some drum beats to it. And now because they have that complexity of AI in there, I can get exactly what I want from my video piece and not have to go search for 3 weeks to find a piece that I need that's going to fit the exact beats I need to hit my editing, or have to make my editing fit the beats of the music.
Right.
I can create everything I need right there. Thank you, 11 Labs.
John, I could talk to you forever, but we have a time limit.
It is what it is.
Mr. Murphy.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us today. If you're looking for more content like this, we will be doing interviews on the show floor today, day 1 at NAB 2025 New York, as well as day 2 tomorrow. Check our schedule and you'll see when we're streaming. And when you're looking for tools like what John's using, reach out to Keycode Media. And if you're looking to upgrade your production facility, your post-production facility, or your AV, reach out to us. We've got fantastic pricing and we have free consulting. So reach out to us at keycodemedia.com and we'll see you on the next stream.